Awesome. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, what's up, Hilo News family? Welcome to another episode of Can We Talk, where we talk to dope people in the community doing dope things, and today is no different. I'm so excited to have my guest on today. He's a young man doing great things in the aviation space. He's an entrepreneur, and I'm so excited for you guys to learn more about his business and what he does. Without further ado, welcome to Can We Talk, Mark from Airyvl. Hey, Mark, what's up?
Hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much for having me on this amazing platform. I love what you're doing in the South Florida area, giving Black entrepreneurs like myself a chance to tell my story. So thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that love. Cool. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into it because I want to know all about you and your company. And you know what? Let's give the people, a little bit about you and Airyvl. Can you tell me about your company? Because it's really amazing what you're doing in the aviation space. So tell us about Airyvl.
Yeah, thank you so much. I started this company at the beginning of the pandemic. So many people were struggling with travel ideas with their family. And I think the best option when you are going through a pandemic is flying private. And I wanted to figure out a way to make private aviation, more affordable. So that's why I started this company. So I started doing research. I called the top 25 executives in the aviation space, and I'm like, hey, why is private aviation so expensive? And one of the main reasons why is the lack of analytics, a lack of resources, and that's what Airyvl is trying to solve.
What? That is amazing. And you know what? You don't see a lot of people that look like us in this space. So I think that's pretty amazing what you're doing and the innovation that you're creating with your company. Tell me a little bit about your background, like in your career. How did you build the tools and the things that you needed to create this company? Like, what is your experience like?
Yeah. So my background is mainly in sales. I didn't take the college route after high school. I got the opportunity to work at a car dealership, and I was able to work around some amazing people to just teach me about sales. And that's where I think I got the entrepreneur spirit from. My first company I started with a good friend of mine, Ian Bone. We started an AI company that could help universities solve their parking problem. And I met some amazing people in the artificial intelligence and data science space, and that's what kind of sparked the idea for Airyvl, and ultimately got me started in entrepreneurship.
Man, that's amazing. Come on, Black man. I love it. And I love your story because you're saying that you didn't take the traditional route, you just kind of like learned as you went and got, real world experience. So I think that's pretty cool too for people to know that there's many ways to success. So thank you for sharing that. I know you're a Black millennial, and there may not be a lot of people that look like you in that space. So how do you maneuver and not, deal or overcome imposter syndrome if you ever haven't experienced that, like when you're in these spaces? Because I know the tech world is very white. So how do you maneuver that world?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. My stepdad is an entrepreneur, so I got someone that I can just call whenever I need advice. And I think he sort of just kind of helped me out growing up. I've seen him, maneuver in similar spaces. So yeah, I think that's why. Like, I just had a couple of people in my family who took the route less travel and dealt with a lot of less diverse, uh, you know, less diverse, I guess, a less diverse workspace. So yeah, I think that's why.
You know what? That's really cool. And you are very blessed to have that like right in your world, because a lot of us don't have that and we have to build our own network. So I get that. But I think the key takeaway there is having someone that you can talk to who can, maneuver you through these spaces. And I'm glad that you didn't feel imposter syndrome, like you feel like you very much deserve to be there. So that's
Yeah,
pretty dope.
I do. I do. Thank you. And I do. There's not a lot of us in a lot of spaces, but I think whenever I did start this company, I wanted to pave a way for other entrepreneurs in this space. And Glenn Gonzalez is an entrepreneur. He's the CEO of Jetted, and I think they raised over $60 million, and he has a private jet company. So there's a few people in this space, and he's one of the entrepreneurs that I call whenever I wanted to learn more about the aviation space. And yeah, so I think he's a person, one of those people that I reached out to for advice, and I seen him do it, and it gave me the ambition and belief that I can do it too. And I think hopefully I'll pave the way for other Black entrepreneurs who want to come in this space.
That's what's up. I love that. You told me that you were born in Tallahassee and you grew up and you live in the Tampa Bay area. Tell me a little bit about where you're from and your family upbringing and how that has influenced you as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. So Tallahassee is an interesting city. Like it's not a popular city, but I think a lot of people come there for to go to FAMU or Florida State University. So we have a lot of different cultures and a lot of different students, pass through Tallahassee. So my upbringing, my grandma pretty much raised me. My mom had me as a single, parent. So when she finally got on her feet, I started, living with her. I got an opportunity to go to uh, like a white middle school and high school. So I got exposed to like the other side of things like very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
I know other places in Florida isn't really like that. So I think it did kind of prepare me for this type of space that I'm in. Because like you said, there's less of us. So going to school in Tallahassee, it kind of prepared me for life in spaces like this.
Yeah, that's what's up. Um, and so, we connected through the Endeavor Lab for Black Founders. Tell me about that experience with being in that cohort and what you've learned through that whole accelerator.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, Endeavor is a well-known nonprofit organization. And I actually competed in the competition with
Mm,
Endeavor. And that's where I really got familiar with them. I didn't win, unfortunately, but whenever they did start this cohort, I was one of the people that they had in mind. And the program has been really great. Every week we get the opportunity to meet an entrepreneur or a VC or some type of expert in the entrepreneur space who's already established themselves, and they speak to us and they give us really, really good advice. They also provided me with a really, really good mentor who's in the aviation space. Like my mentor, he recently sold his aviation company for I think $90 million.
wow.
So they were able to give me a lot of great advice and a lot of great mentors and people in this organization who can help me take my company to the next level. So it's been really great.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
um, I want to know more about Arrival and what are some of the features of the technology that you're bringing to the market, and what are some of your short-term and long-term goals?
Yeah. So airlines and private jet companies, they lose billions and billions of dollars per year. Just because there's so many missed revenue opportunities. You got flight cancellations, and flight delays, and also when you fly private charter companies have a hard time booking those return trips back. So what we do is, we're working with a company called Newside, based in South Florida as well. And what they did is they provided us with these unique algorithms that could help us, help us, and also help airlines um, cut flight delays and cut flight cancellations, and also help private charter companies fill those return trips in which they have a hard time filling. So yeah, so our analytic platform is made up of a couple of different algorithms. Um, yeah, like it provides an easy way for charter companies and airlines to, to uncover those missed flight opportunities.
And so, are you guys live now?
Yeah, so right now we have an MVP, we have an MOU with a few charter companies that you may have heard of before. Pegasus Elite Aviation, they're based out of Los Angeles, California, and Contour Airlines. Their headquarters is in Smyrna, Tennessee.
Okay.
So we have an MVP, and hopefully in the next few months we'll be going live with those companies that I mentioned.
Nice. So right now, the experience for the app is more so business to business, where you're working with them. So the commercial, I won't say the commercial, but the general public can't go on your app yet and like book that travel yet.
Correct. Yeah. So instead of going through Arrival, when companies book in the future, whenever they book with their airline or when they book with their charter company, hopefully they will be using our technology. So we're more of a B2B company than a B2C.
Got it. So you guys are helping the airlines forecast travel demands.
Exactly. Yeah. So with our algorithms, we pretty much help airlines and charter companies find out where the demand is. So a lot of times, a lot of these flight cancellations, the reason why these flights get canceled is because airlines have a hard time filling certain flights. For an example, if you wanted to fly from to a smaller city from a hub like Miami, it's very, very expensive. And sometimes those flights get canceled, which is why most people, whenever they want to see their favorite football team, they usually have to fly into a bigger city and then drive someplace like like Tallahassee or Gainesville. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so I think that's where our technology really shows itself at, is that we show, hey, here's the demand. So this is the best time that you should schedule this flight, instead of having 3 flights a day to this location based on this demand. You can have 2 flights a day and fulfill demand, and that way you won't have to cancel this flight.
That's what's up, and that's really smart. And I think that is going to be a game changer, especially
Yeah,
for
thank you.
the general public who want to fly private, but may not be able to afford to. And you're also helping the airlines figure out how to bring this to more people. So that's
Exactly. Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. So what's your long-term goal with the company? Where do you see the big picture of this? If you got your crystal ball, where is Airyvl in 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, so hopefully in the next 5 years, I would love for Air to be working with a few bigger airlines like JetBlue and Delta Airlines. So that's where I think I would see Air in the next 5 years. And yeah, hopefully the long term plan is to maybe sell our company to a company like a Delta Airlines or a software company who could just take Arrival to the next level. Because I do think in the near future, I do think we could expand to other areas, like shuttle buses,
Mm.
or even to rockets in the future.
Hey, come on. We're gonna call you the transportation king over here. Yo, so what would you say to any entrepreneur or even a kid or a student right now who's looking at this and may have some apprehensions about going into tech? What advice would you have for them to get into the tech world, either working in it or becoming an entrepreneur?
I would say have an open mind, be a sponge for knowledge, and try to soak up as much advice as you can. And I will recommend a book that I read called Zero to One by a well-known entrepreneur and investor, Peter Thiel, who invested in Apple, who invested in the SpaceX and Tesla. One of the things that I learned from that book is that you want to build a company in a field that doesn't have a lot of competition. One of the things that I like about the airline industry is that there's not a lot of competition. So there's not a lot of software companies or analytic companies building technology like we're building in this field. But I see a lot of entrepreneurs, they go into fields that are very, very competitive. And it's very, very hard, like like the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so yeah, that's what I would recommend. Be a sponge for knowledge, and also choose the field that you select to build your business in wisely. Because unfortunately, there's people start millions and millions of businesses literally every year. And I think that's what separates the great companies from the companies that don't succeed. The companies that don't succeed, they get overwhelmed by competition, and they can't survive. But the companies that do survive, like your Facebook, your Airbnb, your Uber, whenever they come into the game, there's not a lot of people who are doing what they're doing in this space. So they got the opportunity to grow and scale quickly before their competition can take over the market.
Hey, you preaching to me. I'm taking that in as some knowledge for myself. So I appreciate that. Before I let you go, Mark, is there anything that you would like to share with our audience that we didn't touch on, or anything that you want them to know about you and Airyvl?
I would love for the community to just follow what we're doing, because I think what Airyvl is doing can make private aviation more affordable, and also can allow people to book affordable flights in cities outside of hubs, because I feel like that's where most families are. That's where most houses at, outside of the city. And those places do have airports. It's just, airlines have a hard time filling flights to those places. So a lot of them to get canceled. Just follow Airyvl, share what we're doing. And any advice that I can share to any entrepreneur, I will. So please leave my email, at the bottom or something. And my line is free for any entrepreneur who wants advice in this space or any space.
That's what's up. And so how can they connect with you? Where are you on the web or social media?
Yeah, you can follow us at Airyvl Tech. Airyvl Tech on Facebook. Or just shoot me an email at mark@Airyvl.
Got it. And what's your website?
Yeah, our website is airyvl.com. So AIRYV as in volleyball, L.com.
Got it. That's what's up, Mark. You know what? I really appreciate you taking time to speak with us today and joining us on Hello News' Can We Talk? Please, you're a friend of the show now, so come back. You got some big news. You're raising $1 gajillion. You want the world to know. Come over to Hello News. Let the people know. We'll definitely be in touch and giving our audience updates as you continue to build this amazing company. Thank you again for joining us and sharing so much knowledge about what you're doing. And I'm hoping that you're inspiring more kids, especially kids that look like you and I, to go into the tech world. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on this platform, and I'm happy to come on anytime. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. All right, you guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Can We Talk?